Okay, so picture this. You walk into a boardroom, maybe it's in New York, maybe London,
Yeah,
and across the table are some of the most powerful CEOs on the planet.
right.
But there's a twist. They're all waiting on a company. Most people just associate with smartphones. Welcome to the Legacy of Giants podcast series.
Yeah,
We're diving deep into the stories behind companies that really shape our world.
absolutely.
And today we're tackling the pretty captivating history of Samsung.
I think it's a great choice.
Yeah, I'm excited about this one.
It really is incredible when you think about it.
Yeah.
Samsung's reach is so much more than what people think about.
Totally.
It's not just the devices in your pocket. We're
Right.
talking the infrastructure of the digital age.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start at the beginning because I was kind of blown away to learn that Samsung wasn't always about this cutting-edge tech.
Right.
Their early days were about as far from Silicon Valley as you can get.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We're talking 1938 South Korea. Samsung started as a trading company,
Okay.
dealing in things like dried fish and flour and noodles.
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 So the company that makes my sleek smartphone
Yeah,
was shipping noodles across the country.
exactly.
It's almost impossible to picture.
It's true.
Like finding out your favorite rock band actually started as like a polka group or something.
Yeah, I get it.
But then there's this pivotal moment. You know, the 1983 Tokyo Declaration.
Right.
Help me understand this. Why was it such a bold move
Sure.
for Samsung to just announce they wanted to become a DRAM powerhouse?
Well, you got to think about it. This
Yeah.
is a relatively young company,
Right.
primarily known for domestic business, in South Korea.
Okay.
Suddenly, they're setting their sights on becoming a global leader in this highly competitive tech field.
Yeah.
And DRAM, or dynamic random access memory.
Yeah. What is that?
It's the computer memory that allows your devices to run quickly and smoothly.
Oh, okay.
At the time, this market was dominated by giants, mainly from Japan and the US.
Yeah.
So for Samsung to make this declaration,
Yeah.
it was a huge gamble.
Really a David and Goliath situation.
Exactly.
So they were basically saying to the world, watch out, we're coming for you.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
But they weren't just making a statement, were they?
No, they weren't.
They had a plan.
Absolutely, and this is where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
So instead of trying to just, assemble devices cheaper or faster, Samsung took a totally different approach.
Okay.
They decided to focus on mastering the underlying technology, specifically DRAM chips,
Interesting.
becoming a leading supplier even to their competitors.
Whoa, hold on. So they were supplying parts to their competitors?
Yeah, it's called vertical integration.
So like imagine if you could see how your rivals were making their products
Right.
while you're developing your own.
Exactly, that's the advantage.
That's wild.
It is.
So they were supplying parts to companies like maybe even Apple
Yeah, potentially.
while they were building their own competing products. That's like playing 4D chess.
It's a brilliant strategy.
Yeah.
By being inside the supply chain, they gained these incredible insights,
Wow.
essentially learning the game from the inside out. They understood product development at a deeper level than many of their rivals.
And this all stemmed from that one declaration in Tokyo.
Really did.
Talk about a domino effect.
It's amazing.
Okay, so they had the strategy,
Right.
but what about the execution?
Yeah.
What were some of those breakthroughs that helped Samsung kind of cement its place as a tech innovator?
Well, those DRAM chips were really just the beginning.
Yeah.
They were the first to develop several key advancements in memory technology,
Right.
pushing the boundaries of what was possible.
Like what? Give me some specifics.
Sure.
Because I got to understand how this impacts, my life.
Right. Well, think about the storage in your smartphone,
Huh?
your laptop, even your digital camera.
Okay.
That reliance on flash memory, well, Samsung pioneered that too.
Really?
They developed some of the first high-capacity NAND flash memory chips. And these innovations didn't just make devices smaller and faster.
Yeah.
They fundamentally changed how we interact with technology.
Oh, wow.
And those vibrant, energy-efficient screens on your phone and your TV,
Yeah.
that's Samsung's OLED display technology at work.
I didn't know that.
They were leaders in pushing that forward,
Interesting.
changing the way we experience visuals.
Okay, so we're talking chips and displays that are literally in the devices I use every day.
Every day.
But I have a feeling there's more to this.
Oh, yeah.
Because Samsung makes way more than just phones and TVs.
You are absolutely right.
Right.
And this is where we get into the truly mind-blowing part of Samsung's story.
Okay.
But we'll have to save that for next time.
Hold on a second. You can't just drop a bombshell like that and leave me hanging.
I know.
What else does Samsung have its hands in?
Well, let's just say it goes far beyond electronics.
Oh, come on.
Think bigger, much bigger.
I'm dying here, all right, listeners.
Huh.
We'll be back with part 2 of our Samsung deep dive.
Yes, we will.
And I promise you won't want to miss it.
That's a good one.
Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the rest of this wild story.
You got it.
We'll be right back.
See you soon.
Okay, so we're back, and I am still trying to process that cliffhanger.
I know, right?
You mentioned that Samsung's reach goes way beyond electronics.
It does.
So spill it. What other industries are they involved in?
All right, so prepare yourself because this list is going to get a little wild.
Okay.
Remember how we talked about Samsung starting as a trading company?
Yeah.
Well, that diversification instinct never really went away.
Uh-huh.
Over the decades, they've expanded into a mind-boggling array of industries.
Okay, like what?
We're talking construction, shipbuilding, financial services, biopharmaceuticals,
Whoa.
even theme parks and hotels.
Okay, hold on. Theme parks.
Theme parks.
Like roller coasters and cotton candy.
Yeah, the whole thing.
This is the same company that makes my phone and my TV.
It's pretty hard to fathom, right?
Yeah.
But it speaks to this incredible ambition
Uh-huh.
that seems to be baked into Samsung's DNA.
Oh,
They're not content to just dominate one industry.
right.
They want to have a hand in shaping the future of, well, pretty much everything.
So how did they even get into all these different areas?
Right.
Was it all part of that master plan we talked about earlier?
Uh-huh.
Or were they just kind of throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what stuck?
It's a little bit of both, actually.
Okay.
There's definitely a strategic element to their expansion.
All right.
They look for opportunities where they can leverage their existing expertise and their resources
Right.
to gain a competitive edge.
Okay, so give me an example.
Sure, their construction arm, Samsung C&T Corporation,
Uh-huh.
they've been involved in some of the world's most iconic skyscrapers,
Oh, wow. Like what?
including the Burj Khalifa in Dubai.
Really?
Yeah, they applied their engineering know-how from electronics to create these architectural marvels.
So it's not just about random acquisition.
No, not at all.
They're actually finding ways to connect the dots
Right.
between these seemingly like totally different businesses.
Yeah.
But how do you even manage a company that's this diverse and this massive?
Yeah.
It's like trying to herd 1,000 cats,
Huh.
each with its own agenda.
That's a great analogy.
Thanks.
And it really gets to the heart of what makes Samsung so fascinating.
Yeah.
They're not just a tech company, they're a conglomerate. This sprawling network of subsidiaries,
Yeah.
all operating under the Samsung umbrella.
And this structure, this conglomerate model, it's not exactly unique to Samsung, is it?
You're right. It's a model that's pretty common in South Korea,
Great.
often referred to as chaebol.
Chaebol.
Yeah, these family-controlled conglomerates.
Uh-huh.
They played a key role in the country's rapid economic growth
Really?
after the Korean War.
So there's this historical context,
Yeah.
this connection between Samsung's rise and the rise of South Korea itself.
Exactly.
Like they grew up together,
Yeah,
each supporting the other.
that's a really insightful observation.
Thanks.
Samsung's success is deeply intertwined with the story of South Korea's economic miracle. They became a symbol of national pride,
Yeah.
a testament to the country's ambition and technological prowess.
But that close relationship
Yeah.
between the cables and the government,
All right.
it's not without its controversies.
Right.
There have been accusations of favoritism, corruption, even undue influence on political decisions.
You're bringing up a really important point.
Yeah.
The cable system has been both praised and criticized.
Yep.
On one hand, these conglomerates help propel South Korea onto the global stage.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
Right.
their immense power and influence
Ah.
have raised concerns about fairness and accountability.
So there's a shadow side to this success story.
I think that's fair to say.
A reminder that even the most impressive achievements
Right.
can come at a cost.
It's a nuanced picture, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's important to acknowledge both the positive and negative aspects
Okay.
of Samsung's legacy.
So we've covered Samsung's origins,
Yeah.
their strategic brilliance,
Uh-huh.
their mind-blowing expansion into all these different industries.
It is pretty amazing.
But I still feel like we're missing a piece of the puzzle here.
Okay, what's that?
We've talked about the company,
Right.
but what about the people behind it all?
Yeah.
Who are the driving forces,
Uh-huh.
the visionaries, who shaped Samsung into this giant it is today?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it brings us to the human side of this epic story.
Okay.
Because behind every corporate giant,
Yeah.
there are countless individuals who contributed to its success.
Right.
From the brilliant engineers to the dedicated factory workers.
Uh-huh.
And to really understand Samsung's journey,
Yeah.
we need to understand their stories.
Okay, so where do we even begin?
Right.
Samsung has hundreds of thousands of employees all over the world.
Well, a good place to start is South Korea,
Okay.
where Samsung's roots run deep.
Right.
The company has played a huge role in the country's economic development, and for many Koreans, working at Samsung is seen as this prestigious and secure career path.
It's almost like a badge of honor,
It
this symbol of national pride.
absolutely.
But what's it actually like to work for Samsung?
Well, it's known for being a very demanding and competitive work environment.
Okay.
Long hours and a strong work ethic are the norm.
So it's pretty intense.
Yeah, there's a saying in Korea, "Pupali apali."
What's that mean?
It means hurry, hurry.
Oh, wow.
And that definitely applies to Samsung's corporate culture.
Okay, so we're talking about this fast-paced,
Yeah.
results-oriented environment.
Yes.
But is it all work and no play?
Well, Samsung does invest heavily in its employees.
Okay.
Providing them with benefits like on-site daycare,
Oh, wow.
gyms, and even housing.
Interesting.
There's a sense of community within the company,
Uh-huh.
and many employees develop strong bonds with their colleagues.
It sounds like there's a real sense of camaraderie there.
Yeah.
Almost like a family atmosphere.
I think so.
But we've also heard about some of the challenges, right?
Yes.
The controversies surrounding worker safety and labor practices.
Right.
How does that fit into the picture?
It's important to acknowledge that Samsung,
Yeah.
like any large corporation,
Oh,
has
yeah.
faced its share of criticism.
Okay.
There have been concerns about working conditions
Oh, and
in some
horrible.
of their factories,
Yeah.
particularly in the semiconductor industry.
We've heard stories about long hours,
Yeah.
exposure to hazardous chemicals, pressure to meet these demanding production quotas.
These are serious allegations.
Yeah.
And Samsung has been working to address these concerns
Okay.
by improving safety protocols,
Huh?
increasing transparency,
Right.
and engaging with labor organizations.
So they're taking steps,
They are.
but it's still an ongoing process.
It is.
And there's always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's kind of a mixed bag
Yeah.
with both positive and negative aspects to the Samsung work experience.
I think that's a fair assessment.
But beyond the day-to-day realities,
Uh-huh.
what kind of impact has Samsung had on the lives of its employees?
Now, for many, it's been a pathway to a better life,
Okay.
a chance to contribute to a global success story.
Hmm.
Samsung has provided opportunities for advancement, education, and even international travel.
Wow.
There's a sense of pride in working for a company that's known all over the world.
It's almost like being part of something bigger than yourself.
It is.
This collective effort to push the boundaries of technology and innovation.
Exactly. And that sense of purpose
Mm-hmm.
and shared accomplishment can be very motivating.
Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about the culture,
Right.
the challenges, the impact on employees' lives.
Uh-huh.
But let's zoom out a little bit and consider the broader impact of Samsung on society as a whole.
Sure.
What can you tell me about that?
Well, their innovations have undeniably made our lives easier,
Yeah.
more connected, and more entertaining. Think about the way we communicate, consume information,
Yeah.
and entertain ourselves.
Okay.
Samsung's technology is everywhere.
It's true. Smartphones,
Yeah.
smart TVs, smart homes.
Right.
It's hard to imagine a world without these devices.
I know.
And Samsung has been a driving force
Absolutely.
behind their development and, just their spread everywhere.
And their impact goes beyond consumer electronics.
Okay.
Their components are inside countless other devices, powering our cars, our computers, medical equipment, you name it.
So they're not just making gadgets.
Nope.
They're shaping the world around us in some pretty profound ways.
I think that's true.
But with that influence
Yes,
comes a certain level of responsibility.
absolutely.
As we've discussed, Samsung has faced, its share of ethical challenges.
They have.
And those controversies really raise some important questions about the role of corporations in society.
It's a reminder that we can't just blindly consume.
Right.
We need to be aware of the potential consequences.
Yeah.
Both positive and negative of these powerful companies.
So we need to hold these giants accountable
We do.
for their actions.
Right.
demand transparency,
Yeah.
and advocate for ethical practices.
Absolutely.
Because our choices as consumers have power,
they do.
and we can use that power to shape the kind of future we want to see.
I agree with you.
Okay, so as we kind of wrap up this second part
Yeah.
of our deep dive into Samsung's fascinating history,
It's a good one.
what's the key takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most important lesson is that even the most seemingly invincible
Right.
corporate giants are not immune to scrutiny,
Uh-huh.
to challenges, to the consequences of their actions.
Okay.
Their legacies are not set in stone. They're constantly being written,
That's an interesting way to put it.
and we, the consumers, have a role to play
Right.
in shaping those narratives.
So it's not just about marveling at their innovations
Yeah.
or debating their controversies.
It's about understanding the complexities of these companies
Uh-huh.
and engaging in thoughtful discussions
Yeah.
about their impact on our lives and the world around us.
Okay, so what have we tried to do today?
We've tried to provide you with the information, the insights, the different perspectives
Right.
to help you form your own conclusions about Samsung's journey.
It's a wild one.
It really is.
From those humble beginnings
Right.
in a Seoul street market
Uh-huh.
to this global tech titan we know today.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable.
Samsung's story is a testament to human ambition, innovation,
Uh-huh.
and resilience.
Yeah,
But it's also kind of a cautionary tale
I think so.
about the potential pitfalls of unchecked power.
And as we move forward, it's crucial to remember
Yeah.
that the future of these corporate giants,
And our relationship with them is ultimately in our hands.
That's a powerful thought
it is.
to leave our listeners with.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Samsung.
Of course.
And we'll be right back with part 3. We're back and ready to really explore this human side of Samsung.
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear about the people you know
Yeah.
that make this global giant pick,
It's easy to get lost in the tech
right?
and the sheer scale of Samsung's operations.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
Uh-huh.
it's a company made of people,
Right.
just like any other.
Yeah.
And those people have some fascinating stories to tell.
So where do we even begin?
Right.
Samsung has hundreds of thousands of employees around the world.
Well, a good place to start is South Korea,
Oh.
where Samsung's roots really run deep. The company has played a huge role in the country's economic development. And for many Koreans,
Yeah.
working at Samsung is seen as a prestigious and secure career path.
It's almost like a badge of honor.
It is.
This symbol of national pride.
Absolutely.
But what's it actually like to work for Samsung?
Well, it's known for being a demanding and competitive work environment. Long hours, a strong work ethic.
Yeah.
Those are the norm.
Okay.
There's a saying in Korea, "Papali."
I remember you mentioned that.
It means hurry, hurry.
That's right here.
And that really sums up Samsung's corporate culture.
So it's pretty intense.
I could say that.
But it's not all work and no play, right?
Well, Samsung does a lot for its employees.
Like what?
Benefits like on-site daycare,
Okay.
gyms, even housing.
Oh, wow.
So there's a sense of community within the company, and many employees develop really strong bonds with their colleagues.
It sounds like that family atmosphere that we talked about earlier.
I think so.
But we've also heard about those challenges.
Yes.
The controversies surrounding worker safety and labor practices.
Right.
How does that fit into this picture?
Well, it's important to acknowledge that Samsung, like any massive company,
Right.
has faced its share of criticism,
Okay.
and there have been concerns about working conditions.
Yeah, in some of the factories.
Right, particularly in the semiconductor industry.
Yeah, we've heard stories about long hours, exposure to chemicals, that kind of thing.
These are serious allegations,
Yeah.
and Samsung has been working to address those concerns,
By
improving safety protocols,
Uh-huh.
increasing transparency,
Yeah.
engaging with labor organizations.
So they are taking steps.
Yes, but it's an ongoing process.
Right. And there's always room for improvement.
Nice.
So it's a mixed bag,
Yeah.
both positive and negative aspects.
It's a complex picture.
But beyond just like the day-to-day realities,
Yeah.
what impact has Samsung had on the lives of its employees?
Well, for many, it's been a path to a better life.
Okay.
A chance to contribute to a global success story.
Now,
Samsung's provided opportunities for advancement, education, even international travel.
wow.
And there's a definite sense of pride in working for a company
Yeah.
that's known worldwide.
It's that feeling of being a part of something bigger than yourself
Yes.
that we talked about.
Right, this collective effort to push boundaries and innovate.
Okay, so we've talked about the culture, the challenges,
Yeah.
the impact on employees' lives.
Right.
But let's zoom out for a second
Okay.
and think about the broader impact of Samsung on society.
Sure.
What can you tell me about that?
Their innovations have undeniably made our lives easier,
Right.
more connected, more entertaining.
Yeah.
Think about how we communicate,
Okay.
how we consume information, how we entertain ourselves.
Yeah.
Samsung's technology is a part of all of that.
It's true. Smartphones,
Right.
smart TVs, smart homes.
All of it.
It's hard to imagine life without those things.
I know.
And Samsung has been such a driving force
They have.
behind their development and just their spread everywhere.
And their impact goes beyond just consumer electronics.
Right.
Their components are inside countless other devices,
Okay.
powering our cars, our computers, medical equipment, you name it.
So they're not just making gadgets.
Yep.
They're shaping the world around us.
Yeah, in some really profound ways.
But with that influence comes responsibility.
You're absolutely right.
We've talked about those ethical challenges that Samsung has faced.
We have.
And these controversies bring up some really important questions
You do.
about the role of corporations in society.
It's a good point.
It's a reminder that we can't just consume blindly, right?
Right?
We need to be aware of the potential consequences,
Yeah.
both good and bad,
Absolutely.
of these powerful companies.
We need to hold these giants accountable for their actions.
We do.
We need to demand transparency from them.
Yeah.
And we need to advocate for ethical practices.
Our choices as consumers have power,
We do.
and we can use that power to shape the kind of future we want to see. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Samsung's history,
It's been a fascinating journey.
what's the one key takeaway for our listeners?
Even the most seemingly invincible corporate giants aren't immune to scrutiny, to challenges,
Yeah.
the consequences.
Right.
Their legacies aren't set in stone. They're constantly being written, and we have a role to play.
Yeah, as consumers.
Yes, in shaping those narratives.
So it's not just about marveling at the innovations.
Right.
Or debating the controversies.
Right.
It's about understanding these companies
Yeah.
and engaging in thoughtful discussions
Exactly.
about their impact on our lives and the world around us.
I think that's a great way to put it.
It's been a wild ride.
It had.
From humble beginnings
Yeah, starting in a street market.
to this global tech giant.
It's pretty incredible.
Samsung's story really is a testament to human ambition, innovation resilience,
Yes.
but it's also a reminder of the potential downsides of unchecked power.
We need to be mindful of that.
Yeah, as we move forward.
Right.
It's important to remember that the future of these companies and our relationship with them
Yes,
is in our hands.
it is.
That's a powerful thought.
I hope so.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Samsung.
It's been a pleasure.
Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our next deep dive.
Into the world of corporate giants.
We'll see you then.